The biggest losers for week 18, the last, week of the NFL regular season. Let's start off with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Minnesota Vikings got humbled against the Detroit Lions. They came into this game with a lot of momentum. All the, celebration, the dances they've been doing all year. They've been having a great year. Great football team. Sam Darnold, he was looking like he had a chance to be an MVP finalist, a chance to be one of the guys in the conversation, and he blew it in this game. Had like 5 passing touchdowns that he just missed. Looked like he was back with the New York Jets. That was the Sam Darnold we got. Just a lot of misses. This offense struggled. Defensively, Brian Flores, Ben Johnson got the best of him. They really couldn't do much in this game. The Detroit Lions, with all the players they had out, looked like the better football team, and that's just a concern. Detroit, they went 6-0 in the NFC North this year, and Minnesota, they missed a good opportunity for them to have the first seed and have a bye week to rest up. But, this game really kind of answered questions about Sam Darnold. Should the Vikings pay him, or, what should they do with that situation? That kind of goose egg performance in a big football game, that shows you, hey, maybe we should look into J.J. McCarthy. Maybe we should see what's up with that and Daniel Jones as a backup quarterback, because Sam Darnold, I don't know if paying him $50 million, $40 million would be a good decision after that game. We'll see how the Rams game goes for him. That's a huge game that will test and see will the Vikings give Sam Darnold big money, because if he goes out and he plays like shit and he plays like the New York Jets, Sam Darnold, then you're like, all right, somebody else can pay him. Somebody else can move forward with him as their guy. We'll stick with J.J. McCarthy. We'll develop him, and we'll see if he could be a guy that comes up in the clutch and plays a little better. Because, against the Detroit elite football team, you need a quarterback that's going to be able to out-duel Jared Goff, and that's going to be able to play better and win you that football game. You need a superstar quarterback. Sam Darnold, he's put up good numbers, but I think that's more a testament for Kevin O'Connell and the staff around him. This was the worst Vikings game all season. They could not stop Gibbs whatsoever. And Robertson, Detroit Lions, corner, shut down Justin Jefferson. So this was kind of a very humbling performance for the Vikings all around. We'll see what happens against the Rams. I think I would lean more towards the Rams winning that football game. They already beat the Vikings this season. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, that's one of the most dangerous teams in the playoffs right now. Just how good they are. They've been there before. They've, won a Super Bowl with Puka, Cooper Kupp, the defense, the young bulls they have on that side of the ball playing well. Yeah, I would give the nod to the Rams. I think the Rams would win in a shootout. And like I said, if Sam Darnold stinks it up again, his ass ain't getting $40 million from the Vikings. Let's be real. Now, the New England Patriots, they fired Gerard Mayo, and they did what they had to do. It's a fucked up situation, obviously. Gerard Mayo really got the short end of the stick with this. The roster wasn't built for him to do anything really with it. Drake May, this is your superstar quarterback. He showed you he could be a superstar in this league. But yeah, Gerard Mayo, it was positioned for him to, be the successor to Bill Belichick. But yeah, this roster, he wasn't going to win much with them. And a lot of injuries took place this year. They lost a lot of key players in their offensive line, some key places all around on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. Gerard Mayo, I think him getting the short end of the stick is due part to Mike Vrabel being available and that being the guy that, Kraft and them want to bring into the building. Ben Johnson, they're going to interview him as well. But this Patriots team, just very interesting that Joe Milton went out there and balled the fuck out. Just looked like a good quarterback prospect that a lot of teams should be looking forward to possibly trade. I think he had the highest PFF grade out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL this last week. Showed great arm strength, showed great talent. He looked like that quarterback. He looked like the peak moments we saw from him in Tennessee. Showed that in an NFL game. I know it's against bench players, not starters, but just the talent. The talent was on full display for Joe Milton. I think teams like the Raiders, teams like the Seahawks, other teams that need a quarterback that don't have a high draft pick, they should be calling Joe Milton and the Patriots. And the Patriots should be all for that. Let's get some draft compensation for this guy. Take a chance on him. And with the talent he has, the arm strength, the mobility, extend plays, all that, he has some really good traits that could, in the right situation with the right development, he could be a franchise quarterback. It's not crazy to say. Like I said, I mean, even Miami should be calling for that. the Patriots probably wouldn't answer because, Miami. But, like, other teams, the Saints, like, other teams that could use another quarterback in the quarterback room, Joe Milton could be that guy. But the Patriots, they won that football game, lost their opportunity at the number 1 overall pick and their chance for a haul, doing what the Chicago Bears did, getting multiple players, a good player, and some picks to set yourself up for the right, future, for a good future and a good rebuild. But, that opportunity, I mean, how much could you have sold it, though? Like, if you try to tank, it just looks like it's not good football. Not doing what the Chiefs did. Nobody wants to see that. It's not good sportsmanship. So glad they didn't fully tank for it, but it was a missed opportunity losing this. So they're one of my losers. But Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel is getting a good job. Got a quarterback, Drake May, franchise quarterback. He looks like he's got the goods. He looks like he's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. Another great AFC quarterback. You get him a T. Higgins, you get him a weapon, get him McMillan in the draft, maybe Travis Hunter, somebody, a dynamic playmaker on the outside with, Pop Douglas and Booty. Like, you have something there. Those 2 receivers performed pretty well this year, given the circumstances. Hunter Henry at the tight end position. There's a lot to be excited for with the Patriots and with how Drake May looked this year. Just need to add some more playmakers. You have the most cap space in the NFL. You have some high draft picks. Make it happen. Ben Johnson would be really exciting. I think Ben Johnson would do the best job in New England, but hopefully he comes to Chicago. Vrabel, I think he would set that culture and he'd be a really good Patriots coach. He would be a great successor to Bill Belichick and turn things around over in New England. And being a Patriots player, that's probably his favorite destination right now. So I think Vrabel is going to be the Patriots coach named soon. But yeah, I think the Patriots are one of the biggest losers for that missed opportunity, but the future should be bright for them. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they had a nice run. I thought this was going to be a team contending for a championship, a team that could beat anybody in the AFC, but they've shown that they could be beaten by anybody in the AFC, anybody in the playoffs right now. Texans probably would be the only team that I think I would pick them over Chargers. I think the Chargers could beat the Steelers. Buffalo can beat the Steelers. The Chiefs would beat the Steelers. Ravens, I think the Ravens would beat the Steelers. So there's really no favorable matchup for them. Losing to the Bengals, you missed out on an opportunity to, be in position to play the Texans. Big loser for that, and losing 4 straight games. Russell Wilson, he's plateaued. He doesn't look like the same quarterback that we saw go on a tear the last couple of weeks. All the moon balls, the success they had. George Pickens, I think he was close to having an opportunity to touch 1,000 yards a season, and he got negative yards and went down a yard or 2. This team can't run the football anymore either, so things are not looking good for them defensively. They've taken a couple steps back to playoffs. Could be in for another playoff blowout for them against the Baltimore Ravens, who are clicking at the perfect time. Derrick Henry, I think he'll have a big day. And Lamar Jackson, I think he'll have a big day against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it'll be another year full of question marks. I think if Russell Wilson stinks to join up, I think you should look at Justin Fields. Justin Fields should be your future. Justin Fields should be what you focus on next year. Do not sign Russell Wilson to a big contract. I don't think he's earned that, especially how he's performed the last couple weeks and showing you that it's not consistent. Had he, won some of these football games and positioned them well, won the AFC North, then you give him the contract. But it's not looking good for him. I wouldn't pay him the deal. I think, Justin Fields has to be your quarterback next year because you're not in position to draft a quarterback unless you want to go Dylan Gabriel, unless you want to go Jalen Milroe and be a development thing. But with how this team operates, how this organization operates, defense first, I just don't think this. I just don't think this is encouraging. I just don't think it makes sense to give Russell Wilson the bag. I just don't think it makes sense. Arthur Smith, allow him to be OC for a full 17 games with Justin Fields and see what you can do with that. Because I think that's your best shot right now with Mike Tomlin back next year and how good this defense is. You went 3-1. You probably could have a successful season. Just let it play out. Justin Fields was having a really good season. You moved to, Russell Wilson, and at the time it looked like a great decision, the best decision made by a coach all year. But then, Russell Wilson showed you he was cooked once again. Justin Fields should be their guy moving forward. Give him the contract instead of Russell Wilson. Draft a rookie quarterback and allow those 2 guys to compete and see where you're at. Because Right now, I think that's your best option. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.